Live from the Dunn Hizzy, we have episode 2 of the Dunn and Dunn Sports Talk Show. It's my co-host Trey Dunn.
How y'all
Say
doing?
what's up.
What's up?
My name's Tommy Dunn. This is Trey Dunn, and we are ready to begin. Now today, the big news was Russell Wilson signing a 3 or 4 year $87.6 million contract,
Which puts him
$60
up for
mil
five.
guaranteed. So, what do you think about that, Trey Dunn?
I think that's $1 million behind the highest paid, right?
Man,
Overrated Kaepernick.
Kaepernick.
That's when you say that contract, I say, really, if you think about it, if he played for the 49ers, he would have got more money, right? I mean, but, who cares? What I think about it is he's been to 2 Super Bowls out of the past 3 years.
First 3 years
pull
in the
up his
league.
first 3 year stats with Tom Brady's first 3 year stats, and what you're going to get is Russell Wilson looking completely way better.
Well, Russell Wilson has a great defense, a great team, great running back,
Patriots.
but quarterbacks get paid.
Yeah, quarterbacks do get paid.
And I think it's a good contract for both parties. Kaepernick's contract was just a joke.
Garbage.
He had a couple good games, and he got overpaid. He can thank Jim Harbaugh on that. But I think Russell Wilson, good contract, short term, good for both sides.
I agree. It's he's also a Texas Ranger, so I'm therefore more favorable.
Of course,
for
if
him
you remember
getting paid.
episode 1, our team is the Rangers. This is the number
Rangers,
1
yes.
Ranger fan. So Russell Wilson to the Seahawks, 4 years, $87.6 million.
That's
Secondly, is the rumors are that Julio Jones is getting his $15 million a year with the Atlanta Falcons.
What do I think about that? Let me ask you this, man. High-paid receivers, they don't win championships unless you possibly play for the Cowboys. So I like Julio Jones, but
Julio's a beast.
Matt Ryan, how much does Matt Ryan make? One of the top.
He's top 5, top 10 quarterbacks.
Yeah, he's top 5. Paid quarterback. You're paying a top 5 receiver. What you going to do with your offensive line? What are you going to do with your defense? Their running back
That's
situation.
the problem with Atlanta is they don't have a defense.
They're paying their receivers when they should be out there paying offensive linemen and paying their defensive guys.
Are you saying they shouldn't sign Julio Jones?
I say they should sign Julio Jones, but not for that much. Rebuild your team, Atlanta, because y'all have had 2 terrible seasons. I thought y'all was going to do good last year because I watched Hard Knocks. I'm a big fan of it.
Right.
But redo your team, man. Reboot it. While you still got a decent quarterback, as in Matt Ryan, who was on my fantasy team last year. If y'all remember from episode number 1, I was the champion of the fantasy league. But anyways, and he was my quarterback. Okay, I really came in number 2, but technically I should have been the champion.
Well, all these wide receivers are coming up for contract. We talked about the Dez contract. Now Julio's going to get his money. AJ Green is another one that's going to be looking to get his money. So all these, Demaryius Thomas got his $15 million. So I just think it falls in line with the rest of the NFL.
It does, but is it smart for the Falcons to make that type of move when your head coach situation isn't even looking that great anyway?
Well, I don't even know who they hired. So
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Mike Smith was a defensive coach. I think they brought in an offensive guy.
No, it's not.
But we'll see what the Falcons do.
I like the Falcons. I liked them. I like Jamal Anderson and
the Dirty Bird.
The Dirty Bird. I liked them, but anyways, smart move, probably not. Good player, yes. I mean, but you're trying to bring in fans overall, and you're trying to make money and sell jerseys when you're not that good, and you're going to hope that you have a winning season. But anyways, let's
Julio got his money,
move on.
We're good. So the last topic that's going on in NFL is the Tom Brady situation. It looks like he's going to miss the Cowboy game as it stands right now for deflating balls. In my opinion, he basically is guilty. I mean, he says he checked with his attorneys and everybody and just before he destroyed his phone. To me, he didn't want to give up his phone.
Look, why are you going to destroy your phone in the middle of a investigation?
I don't know about you, but I've never destroyed my phone. I always keep my old phones just in case.
I've never destroyed my phones either.
So it seems kind of weird that you would just destroy your phone. But I'm not a celebrity. Maybe he's got some old girlfriend numbers that Giselle doesn't want to see.
Let me put it this way. There are things that can be haunted out. It could have been different, but he obviously has something to hide. And it probably is deflating footballs or whether it be cheating, and I have a great topic for cheating later. But anyways, cheating, anything, it's
this is not
something.
The first time
you
they've
don't
been caught
destroy your
cheating
phone.
either.
It's not, and it's already been admitted that you deflated some footballs. You just didn't know how many or whatever. But I watched Michael Strahan on the Good Morning Show. Is that the one?
The Regis show? Yeah.
With Kelly Ripa.
Yeah.
Anyways, I was watching that show and I was just playing. I love you, babe. But anyways, I was watching that show.
Shouting out to Shatara Johnson.
aka
I'm shouting out to Paula Dunn.
My
That's
baby,
my wife.
who was a Ohio State basketball recruit and who could have got a full scholarship, but she decided to choose and do other things, and was family things was right.
I think she's choosing to have your babies, but anyway, let's move on to the Tom Brady.
All my trades. But anyways, Tom Brady, man, he deflated footballs. He cheated. If Andrew Luck had them deflated footballs, who's a top 5 quarterback, by the way, is one of our things I'm not saying.
Yeah, that would be our next topic.
Yeah, he's a top 5 quarterback. Yeah,
in the NFL.
Anyways, if he deflated footballs, would they won?
Well, they were up big in the championship game, but I would go back to the Patriots over the last 10 years. They've won 4 championships in 10 years?
How many deflated footballs do we got in that 10 years?
Well,
how many
there's Spygate.
What else is there out there? What else do we have?
Bill Belichick.
Do we have him paying players to go to other teams and reporting back to team, their team meetings? Who knows? Because it's all about money. And that's what it's all about. Who's to say they ain't? Who's to say they aren't? I'm not, because
I think they thought that they were going to get away with it because Kraft thought that Goodell was going to make a deal with them, and then when they came out and said they were upheld the suspension, he was shocked, and all of a sudden he's on ESPN and he's talking. And I'm like, dude, they weren't going to overturn that.
Yeah, it's
because Goodell would look weak.
He's guilty. He's guilty. If you're gonna cheat, it's the same thing as hitting a woman in the NFL standards or whatever. You're gonna get suspended.
Basically,
you're gonna get suspended.
I feel like Brady did it. He got caught. He destroyed the evidence.
He got busted.
4 games suspension. Let's move on.
I think it should be more. But let me ask you this: he's come back 4 games, right? And what week do we play them? 4 or 5?
5.
We played them week 5, so he should be back for the Cowboy game. Let me ask you this: how many games is Greg Hardy suspended for?
He's suspended for 4.
Okay, when's he coming back?
He's coming back
against the Patriots.
Week 5.
So we could have a suspended Tom Brady versus Greg Hardy showdown. That's what I want to see right there. I want to see Greg Hardy light him up, throw him down some asphalt, some machine guns. I don't care, man. Let's just light him up.
I want to see Greg Hardy tear up Eli Manning. I want to see him tear up Robert Griffin.
I want to see him knock Sam Bradford back into the injured reserve list.
I want him to break Drew Brees' neck.
Okay,
but anyway,
that's going a little too far. But anyways, as far as
guess what, Drew Brees is not in my top 5 quarterbacks. Who do you got in your top 5 quarterbacks?
My top 5 quarterbacks. Let me see here. Who do I have in my top 5? I shouldn't even have to do this. One thing I wanted to add on to that was before we get into this subject of top 5 quarterbacks is, do you think that Nick Foles and the Sam Bradford was a good trade?
I think both of them suck. I think Bradford
he gets hurt
was overrated as an Oklahoma college quarterback. I think he'll be okay. I think in that system, any quarterback. I mean, look, Mark Sanchez, I call him trash. Even looked good a couple games, including beating the Cowboys. So anybody can run the system. But I really feel like over time it'll come out. Bradford will get hurt, or
I mean, Bradford didn't get hurt, but Nick Foles had all of them stats, and they talked about. There's a stat out there that I heard was the most interceptions dropped. You know what I'm talking about? Like for when he should have thrown a pick, he had the most interceptions dropped too. So it's meant to make him look good. Chip Kelly pretty much came out and said he sucked.
I think the biggest thing is with Bradford is with 2 ACL injuries. He's going to be staring down that rush. And with the Cowboys having a better rush defense this year, they will tear him up and might make him throw those interceptions. And hopefully Scandrick, Carr, and those guys won't drop
bottom line is Nick Foles should have been never
I'd rather have Nick Foles than Bradford.
So I'm thinking Sanchez is going to be your Eagles starting quarterback eventually.
I think eventually, yeah.
And the Eagles messed up by trading McCoy, but they did save money by getting DeMarco Murray, but DeMarco Murray had that line.
Week 2, we played the Eagles.
But like I said, I just want to throw that out there, man.
Week 2. Against the Eagles.
Just some sports.
Can't wait.
Hey, just some sports for thought, man. Sports for thought. Now, let me give you my top 5. What are we doing? QBs of all time or QBs of nowadays?
Right now.
Right now, I will tell you right now.
If you had someone run your team, which top 5 quarterbacks would you pick?
I hate to say this, but my number 1, I'm the biggest Cowboy fan, and the only reason he ain't number 1 is so people won't think I'm biased, because I might even pick him number 1. It's a toss-up. But right now, at the age and the skill, and just as far as bringing their team more, I have Aaron Rodgers.
Aaron Rodgers.
Which it hurts me to say because he's a Packers, but it's a solid thing. So everybody, Cowboy fans, I still love Romo, so just relax.
I think that
you see what I'm saying?
That's what Rodgers said last year on the radio. He's like, relax.
Right.
RELAX.
That's my number 1 pick. For my number 2.
Okay, before we move to number 2, so I know we're talking about this year. Favre or Rodgers, who would you take?
Favre.
Why?
He's a legend. They both have 1 rings, but Favre went to 2 Super Bowls, and Rodgers been to what, 1?
Rodgers been to 1. He won 1 against the Steelers.
And he choked last year.
Ah, man.
You know, but Favre, they say Favre choked against Minnesota, but he was playing hurt. Favre had how many games consecutive?
I mean, Favre is a legend. If you pick Favre, that's cool.
I give Favre.
Do you have any statistical evidence, or is that just based off what you've seen? What is your reason?
Who has the most passing yards other than Peyton Manning?
Aaron Rodgers is not.
No, that's not what I asked.
Aaron Rodgers can have that.
Who has the most passing yards as of right now?
Right now, this is Favre.
This is January.
Going to take over
January 31st. No, this is July 31st.
This is July.
I was just playing. I'll see if y'all knew, but this is July 31st of 2015. Right now, you might ask me next year or the year after, and my decision could change. But right now, Brett Favre is the best. He has how many TDs?
Based on how many TDs he's done in
Who
his
has
career?
The most passing TDs? What? Okay. Let me ask you this: who has passing yards?
Well, Favre's got all the records over Rodgers right now, but based off your
over everybody,
eyes,
it's him or Peyton. It's him or Peyton. What is Peyton chasing for? What's the only record? Like one of the only
yards?
Yeah.
I think he already took over TDs.
Brett. Brett's at number 1.
Man, we might have to change this to top 5 of all time. The way we're talking right now. I'm taking Peyton Manning over everybody.
I'm taking Peyton over everybody too.
Let's go back to top 5 this year. All right, top 5 this year.
Packers, my bad.
Top 5 this year.
I got Rodgers at number 1, and it's I don't really want to say it. You ask me in 4 or 5 years, my list will change. But number 2, I got Tony Romo. You say why? I say who had a higher QB completed. No, not his stats were better than
number 2.
They were better than Rodgers,
guys.
And who really won that game last year?
I have a feeling anybody outside Dallas country is going to be livid.
I don't care. Let them be livid. Let Packers fans, y'all can go and y'all can hoo all you want. I don't care. Y'all know, like we know, it was a catch.
I think there's some Brady fans, some Peyton Manning fans that would argue with you. What would you say to those people?
What would I say? Look at the stats last year. We're not deflating footballs to the Brady fans. The Peyton Manning fans, I got much love to y'all because I love Peyton Manning myself.
Peyton struggled down the stretch.
He did struggle, but fourth quarter, 4th down, Dez and Tony Romo right there. And if it wasn't for that Packer bias, ref, but I'm not saying that, he really is. It was a catch.
That was a great throw, by the
catch. And that was a great throw. And Romo just tore it up last year, stat-wise, leadership-wise. That's why I have him at number 2.
So you got Rodgers, Romo. Who else is on your list?
My number 3 is Peyton Manning's successor. You thought I was going to say Peyton Manning, didn't you?
Brock Osweiler?
His successor. No.
Who's this?
Andrew Luck.
Andrew Luck.
He came out of Stanford, am I correct?
Yes.
All right,
very smart dude.
Stanford, yes. Andrew Luck, and I see him in about 3 years.
I love Luck's game.
Probably in number 1.
He's good.
Probably being number 1, because if you look at his comebacks, and since he's been in the league, he's got almost as many comebacks as anybody. I think he's probably past Romo.
When
and that's another stat. Romo has been coming back in the 4th quarter, which I'm not going to get in that. But anyways, Romo haters.
Clutch.
Y'all are fans.
Romo's clutch.
Fans.
So when Brady
dropped the 2006, we don't care.
When Brady and Peyton retire, I see Luck going up that list.
Luck and Rodgers.
Number 1 or number 2.
Because Romo's.
I got my list too.
Romo's going to retire to, so we all know you got your list.
My list counts more.
Well, we're on my list right now. All right, number 4.
My list means more.
Number 4 might be surprising. He might not be the best accuracy. He might not be the most yards, but he's overall leadership. everything. He's also a Texas Ranger, which I love about him. But other than that, I'm going to still give him the number 4 because he's been to 2 Super Bowls in 3 years. And if you look up his stats the first 3 years and look up Tom Brady's stats, his stats are better than Tom Brady's. So this is why Tom Brady is not on my list, and I have Russell Wilson at number 4.
Wow.
Yes.
Brady not on the list.
I still got one more guy.
All right. Well, before we segue, man, that would have been a good segue to my list. But go
I
ahead.
still got one more. And you got to put.
I can't believe you don't have Brady on your list.
You got to put the.
You're really upset about
my list right here.
Balls.
My list right. Yeah, but he's
4 championships.
Any team can do that with his teams, man.
4.
Anybody can? He might be number 6 because Brady, you're not on my top 5.
What receivers has he been throwing to?
You're not on my.
Name a receiver he threw to
Randy
last
Moss. Oh no, that's not last year.
Last year.
Nobody cares, man. But anyway,
exactly. So he only knows Randy Moss, by the way, which everybody
knows.
Wes
Welker. Everybody knew about Wes Welker. Everybody knew about no.
Exactly. Last year, no.
He was
Name one on his team last year.
Me and you could go out there and catch the
I can catch. I'm a receiver. Hey,
Gronowski.
Call me.
Gronowski. Tight end. Oh, boom. I hit it with the boom.
Okay, name their second one.
And we don't care.
Exactly.
Deflated footballs.
Okay.
Deflated footballs. Spy games. You're not on my top 5, bro, because, you're good, but you're not great.
All right, who's number 5?
The greatest of all time. Peyton Manning. Yeah, we both agree there, don't we?
Yeah, Peyton, that's my boy.
Peyton Manning, man.
39, but
still doing it. Next surgery. He struggles, whatever. He may not have as many rings, but I think early in his career, you put him in that Patriots organization.
Bottom line, he got a ring.
They're going to win them.
So they can't Romo him.
Yeah, they
can't. All right, my list.
Let's listen to your
Number
list.
1. And once again, I'm not biased.
Hate slice pretty boys.
Tom Brady. Tom Brady is number 1.
You're saying he's the greatest quarterback of the next year. He's the best quarterback.
He's the best quarterback.
You put him over Aaron Rodgers. You put him over Tony Romo.
Hey,
you put him over Andrew Luck.
He deflated balls.
You put him over Andrew
But even
Luck.
before he deflated balls, he had his team up. What?
I don't even put him over Matt Castle right now
against Indianapolis. They were up 28, at least 28-7.
Romo destroyed it too.
They wouldn't even went to the second half. Instead, they were deflating balls.
Everybody did. That's what they were doing at halftime with deflated footballs.
Well, either way, Tom Brady.
You're a great quarterback, but
Clutch.
you got too much scandalous and all that going on your
side. That's a debate, but Tom Brady is the number 1 quarterback going in. If I had to pick one guy to win me a game, it would be Tom Brady.
I disagree, but okay.
Number 2, Aaron Rodgers, which is number 1 on his list.
By the way, Brady lost 2 Super Bowls to the same team.
He's won 4.
Whatever. He's lost 2 to the same team.
Okay, well, LeBron's lost 3 or 4 championships,
but
does that make him any less?
LeBron ain't had Bill Belichick. He ain't had Randy Moss. He ain't had that offensive line.
He didn't
have that defense.
They didn't win with Randy Moss. They lost against the Giants with Randy Moss.
Exactly. He ain't have
That's the only one.
Anyways, I'm just saying LeBron didn't have nobody. LeBron had no
If you want to watch a YouTube sports talk show, watch this show because we debate.
He's transgender.
All right, number 3.
Anyways,
I got Romo. I didn't put him above the list. I did not put him number 1 or number 2 because the other guys got Super Bowls. But he's climbing the list. Number 1 in QBR last year, above Aaron Rodgers. And
touchdown pass.
Brady, man, I'm telling you, Romo is getting close. He's getting close on my list.
But
I cannot put him above Brady. I cannot put him above Brady. Number 4, I got Luck. Luck is climbing the list also, but he's not quite there yet. He's got to get the team around him to help him.
All right, can I guess your number 5?
Who's my number 5?
The same as mine.
The
greatest NFL quarterback of all time. I don't care how many rings you got. He is the dude that you can send to Tampa Bay. He's the dude you can send to New York.
Hey.
He's the dude you can send to Denver. He's the dude you can send
anywhere. He runs the show. He's a coach on the field.
He is Peyton Manning.
He's going to have all the records.
Yes.
If this list was last year or the year before, he'd be number 1 on my list.
He makes your Reggie Waynes. He makes your Marvin Harrisons. He makes them way better, man. Way better. I'm just saying. That's just my personal opinion.
That's my boy right there. He will always be my boy. He led me to many fantasy football championships.
I want to say, man, I like how you changed shirts for a second episode. You went from being Avenger to Flash, DC
one
to
of my
Marvel.
new favorite TV shows on TV right now.
Superman destroys them all, but, it's cool.
Yeah.
Flash, Gotham
is good, too.
Watch.
Man, we're going to have to do a TV show segment in the future. Most definitely. We got Gotham, we got Flash.
Maybe you just look down here and
you're watching Supergirl. I don't know what to think.
Supergirl's pretty hot. I mean, it's in far as rating wise. It's looking pretty good, man. I love you, baby.
It's always hot.
But it's looking pretty good.
All right, let's move on. Well, that'll be a future episode of the Dunn and Dunn Sports Talk Show.
Yes.
The #1 YouTube sports talk show. All right, NBA. We talked about our Mavs last time. We don't have anything else to talk about the Mavs. The Mavs.
It's our team, man.
There's things in life that makes us cry. Yeah. But the #1 thing right now in my sports cry is the Mavs. It 2011 hurts. NBA championships.
It hurts.
Now we don't have Tyson Chandler.
No.
Dirk's on his last leg.
We don't have anything
else
to.
Yeah.
DeAndre.
I say it broke my heart, but now I want to punch him.
Ever since Jason Kidd retired, and he went to the Knicks, I don't know, man. But what would you think about Jason Kidd possibly coming to coach the Mavericks if Rick Carlisle leaves?
He's done a really good job with Milwaukee.
I would like to see it. That's just something, sports for thought, y'all.
They got Greg Monroe onto their team, which was one of the biggest free agent acquisitions.
Oh, yeah.
Who do you think was the best acquisition?
I'm going to tell you what I think the biggest acquisition is first. Acquisition. I'm going to tell you what I think the biggest acquisition that made the splash was LaMarcus Aldridge going to the Spurs. Now I'm going to tell you the best. David West going to that bench.
Man, that dude gave up a lot of money. He had $12 million guaranteed. I can tell you, I go play with the Pacers for $12 million.
Yeah, I go play with anybody for $12 million.
But now he's only getting $1 million and a half as a veteran.
Yes,
he wants that championship. I give him that.
He rich. He's one of the people I like Dirk, man. They say Dirk all the time. He has the most humble, and he's like, you can't go nowhere. He's like a normal guy. He's joking around. He's telling Chandler Parsons to pay for dinner because you're paying with my money anyway.
Right,
and I like that.
So with his,
he's just a humble guy.
His acquisition that you said earlier.
Acquisition.
You think he's going to help out on the bench and really put them through to the finals this year?
He's the best sign so far. Like if you think about it, you get not only you got LaMarcus Aldridge coming in, you got Tim Duncan returning. And D, I swear to God, if you watch this show and you say anything that I'm giving your
D is going to be so excited. You're not going to hear the end of it. If he sees this, he's going to use it against you.
Bottom line is, you got Aldridge, you got Duncan, you got Ginobili coming back, you got Parker, you got Leonard, and the list goes on, man. With West and them coming off your bench, like what?
Well,
how can you go wrong?
My thing is, I think, as far as acquisitions this year.
I
almost said it just because you said it.
Right on.
Is Cleveland bringing back their team? I think with Kevin Love, a healthy Kevin Love, a healthy Kyrie. They added Richard Jefferson.
But which is the biggest?
They're gonna have Thompson come back. I think just bringing back their team, another year together, they're going to run the East.
What do you think? Easily.
LeBron, I don't think it's close.
But what is your
biggest? Even D-Rose and the Bulls, they never have enough offense.
What's your biggest name?
The biggest name? Biggest name is Aldridge,
Is that your biggest acquisition this offseason?
I think
not a whole team, your biggest acquisition.
Biggest, man.
I agree with your Cavaliers.
I think Tyson going to Phoenix. Phoenix always has a good team, but they have no defense.
But do you think that's going to be a pushover?
I think it's going to get them at least in the playoffs.
You think that's more of a pushover than Aldridge going to the Spurs?
No.
Aldridge is going to be your biggest.
Aldridge is the biggest. Clippers getting Jordan back and all their crew, and they're going to be a deep team. But I just think that Cleveland bringing all those guys back another year together, I think they're headed toward the championship.
Yeah.
Who do you got in the championship this year?
Oh, man. I got Cleveland versus San Antonio.
Makes me sick.
It makes me sick to even say this, man. I hope the Clippers. Look, anybody that knows me knows I hate the Spurs with all get out. But the Spurs are moving up in my list because they got my favorite, University of Texas alumni. They got LaMarcus Aldridge going there, so I'm gonna give him a little
the
props.
Mavericks a look. I don't think he even looked at the Mavericks. I think they look at the Mavericks and Dirk's old. I just
his favorite.
Done.
You gotta understand where he's coming from. His favorite player growing up was Tim Duncan. Tim Duncan flies out there.
He's got at least one kid in San Antonio.
Yeah, so you got you think about it. It's a smart choice for him, which I don't even like the Spurs. I hope y'all lose and all break your ankles, except for LaMarcus Aldridge. But I say if you get Cleveland and you get Cleveland healthy with Kevin Love, which is also one of the biggest acquisitions, Kevin Love going back to Cleveland, but you get him and you get Kyrie Irving and everything system flow-matic, it could be good. Flow-matic.
Flow-matic.
That's what I'm talking about.
That's right. We're bringing up new words today.
Boom. But anyways.
Well, I think Cleveland is definitely a sure shot. I think the West is wide open. You can throw Houston. You can throw Clippers. You can throw Memphis. To me, it comes down to game changers. LeBron is a game changer.
Definitely.
He's the number one player right now.
Definitely in the world.
And I think San Antonio is definitely going to be in there.
San Antonio,
it's hard to go
I hate
against
to
that.
say it, man, but San Antonio is going to win the West, but they're going to beat the Clippers.
But for show purposes, I got to play devil's advocate, and I think the Clippers are going to be in there this year.
You think so?
I think Clippers are going to have defense. They're going to have offense.
You don't think there's too much
acquisition? Nah, I don't think so. My thing is Blake Griffin is not a go-to guy, but Chris Paul's there. But the acquisition that they got was Paul Pierce.
I'm going to tell you.
Paul Pierce is a fourth quarter player. He did it last year with Washington. He tried to lift them through the East. He almost did it.
He's from L.A., right?
He's from L.A.
Is that going to be a distraction?
No. He's going to play one more year, and he's going to be done. But I think this year is championship or bust for that team.
I think he's not. I think so, too. And I think DeAndre Jordan, that's where he messed up. Because I see Chris Paul leaving. I see Blake Griffin eventually leaving. Maybe, you know what I'm saying? And DeAndre Jordan, you're just sitting there stuck 30 years old by yourself now.
I hope so. I hope they I don't want anybody to get hurt.
I mean, you can send Chris Paul and, Blake Griffin on my way right now, the way we're looking, but who knows, man?
They're going to be better than us. That's all I know.
I want to ask you this, Connor. Let me ask you this one question, man, because you think comes up in my head. Atlanta Hawks, what number were they last year? Number one?
They were number one in the East.
Okay, where do you see them at this year?
Middle of the pack at best.
I see them at sixth at best. I see them falling.
They did better than what they are.
I think they had
a dream year.
I think they had a run of the Rangers. What was it? June May or June when we had 20 games that we was just on fire, man. We was on fire for that month. I see them having that. So.
Well, speaking of fire, fire nowadays is our debate over two NL pitchers. Two great NL pitchers. One plays for the Dodgers, and one plays for San Francisco. And that is your boy, Clayton Kershaw. I love Clayton Kershaw. He's reigning Cy Young award winner. My guy is Madison Bumgardner. He is a great NL pitcher. He made it to the World Series last year. He carried that team to the World Series last year. So the debate has always been, who is better? Who would you take?
Think about it for a second. Who would you really take? Clayton Kershaw hasn't had his time to shine yet.
Hasn't had his time to shine as far as what, postseason?
Postseason. But you're going to take the all-time, the last 2 or 3 years with a 1.8 ERA in the regular season.
He's a great regular season pitcher.
He's taking his team there.
He's a great regular season pitcher.
He's just facing teams that, has had his numbers so far. But this year, he started off struggling. They make the playoffs. You see a turnaround. And you want to talk about Bumgarner? Oh, he's got this World Series thing. Okay.
Number one World Series ERA 0.29 of all time.
I think it's a little higher than that.
No, it's not higher. Trust me on this one, bro.
Pull out the Google.
You can Google it.
Pull out the Google.
You can Google it.
You're gonna have to do it. Google it. Let me tell you this though. In 2011, 2010, who won the World Series? The San Francisco Giants won the World Series.
Who was the main pitcher? Our Rangers.
Who was the main pitcher that got 2 wins? Tim Lincecum.
Lincecum was really good.
2000.
Kane was really
good.
It
would have been 2012. 2012.
Bumgardner shut us out at home in a decisive Game 3.
Game 3.
Could have went either way in that series.
And who won?
At that point.
Anyways,
but he shut us down.
Who won 2012? Who won the World Series? The San Francisco Giants. Who was the main guy? Matt Cain. Matt Cain was the main guy.
Last year, Bumgardner had 200 innings. 200 regular season innings.
I'm not talking about last year. I'm talking about 2012.
Won 2 games in the World Series and saved a game.
Matt Cain.
Including Game 7.
Last year, who was hurt? Matt Cain.
I don't have time to look at the ZRA because I'm too busy having to discuss that Bumgardner is better than Kershaw.
No, not at all. Not at all. At the end of their careers, you're
in a player. Let me ask you this. Okay, let me take it this way. Let me take it this way. In debates, you have to shut the other person up. Shut up. Shut up. Okay. LeBron has how many regular season MVPs?
How many has he got? 3 or 4?
He's got 4.
4.
Okay. Let's say he had 0 World Series. But on the other end, you got Dirk.
Okay.
Who has a regular season MVP.
Massive.
Whether he had one or not, it doesn't matter. But he has a Finals MVP. He has a ring.
That's not the
Which one would you rather have?
That's not the point.
Which one would you rather have?
Both have.
I'd rather have a guy who comes through on the clutch, wins in the postseason,
let me ask you this.
And still a great regular season pitcher.
Let me ask you this. Would you rather have Baltimore Ravens QB or the Dallas Cowboys QB?
I'd rather have the championship.
See,
with Romo.
You know you were Romo. You know what? I can't even think of his name.
But Joe Flacco isn't as good as Bumgardner.
But he got that ring. You see
it
what
would
I'm
be
saying?
more like, would you rather have Aaron Rodgers or Romo?
It's all about the teams you play.
Would you rather have Aaron Rodgers or Romo?
He played.
We just discussed.
You
rather have Rodgers?
I'd rather have Romo.
Rodgers.
I just rank him.
No.
For publicity.
He's lying.
I would rather have Romo, but I rank Rodgers above for publicity.
No. His heart says Romo.
We're not even on that subject no more.
No.
We're not even on that subject.
Bumgardner. Hey, our fans, when I do this to YouTube, comment Bumgardner or Kershaw. Kershaw
has not had his time in the playoffs.
Hey, when you start up the sentence, he hasn't had his time. I think he's been around a while. I'm not talking about
age. He's 26.
Hey, Bumgardner does regular season. He's also does postseason. Kershaw is a good regular season pitcher. I guess it's kind of like Romo. I think it's like Romo. Romo's been known as a good.
How many Cy Youngs has Bumgardner got?
How many World Series does he have?
How many MVPs?
How many has he led his team to?
I see 0.
Even if you say just last year Bumgardner led his team, dude.
Yeah,
that's more than Kershaw. That's more than Kershaw.
Kershaw's time is coming.
You act like the Dodgers were the 1980s Rangers where they never won a game. They win every year.
They're coming.
They're going through. They've gone to the. Kershaw got his ass.
They barely got past the Cardinals.
Kershaw, hey, pull up.
They barely got past the Cardinals.
Listen. Look up Kershaw's postseason stats. They suck.
That's so far.
He got his ass.
They're not great.
Okay, you see that, guys? He agreed with me that Kershaw sucked.
No,
we're on borrowed time here.
Bumgardner is not going to do regular season.
He's not towards the future of what Kershaw's going to do.
You put Kershaw, who wins 21, 24 wins a year, it just seems like, and he's got
I'm not
1 point on ERA. You put Kershaw out there.
I'm not debating that his regular season stats aren't good, and he's won.
Check this.
But when the pressure is on, Kershaw folds.
Next year we'll argue about
Bumgardner rises to the occasion.
Bumgardner ain't got no pressure on him when he came into there. He wasn't the top
last year. You don't think he didn't have pressure on him?
He had not near as much pressure as Kershaw.
Bumgardner, they don't win the World Series last year.
But Clayton Kershaw, I'm not disagreeing with that, but I'm saying, listen to me. Clayton Kershaw had way more pressure on him in the first game of the playoffs than Madison Bumgardner ever dreamed of. Why? Because he's Clayton Kershaw. Next subject. All right, next subject. I'm right, you're wrong.
Once again, when I do this to YouTube, anybody who watches this, all y'all fans, comment Kershaw or Bumgardner.
Who would you rather have for a full season, Kershaw or Bumgardner? Remember, you want to make.
Why has it got to be a full season? One start.
That's what we do.
You have to pick one game.
That's not
one
baseball's
pitcher,
not one game.
Either one for one
Baseball's
game.
not one game.
All right.
Baseball's
World Series Game 7.
You want it for a full season. You want regular season and playoffs. Vote now.
I still want Bumgardner. Either
call 682-4. No. And you can vote now. All right, but anyways, man, we're going to move on to the next subject because some of us have to go to work in a little bit.
All right, trade deadline. Today was the July 31st. Trade deadline is over. The Rangers only did the Hamels trade, which we talked about in episode 1. Actually, I saw we picked up another pitcher from the Marlins, a relief pitcher. It doesn't really hit my radar. But the biggest acquisitions that I saw was David Price and Troy Tulowitzki to the Blue Jays. Man, they're going all in, aren't they?
They very much are. They're trying to get. It was on Gallardo. I never say his name. Gallardo. They was on him.
Then all of a sudden they were getting Price.
Yeah, but Price and Tulo, man, they were both all-stars.
Tulo first game hit.
David Price is actually, here's a fun stat for you. David Price has actually had the lowest ERA. He's on pace for the lowest ERA for a full season of his career.
Yeah, this is his best season so far. And,
he's in the American League.
A lot of these players have great contract years.
And what's funny about it, he's going back to the East, where he's proven to be successful at.
When he played with Tampa Bay.
Yes, he did.
I would love David Price on my team.
And Tulo had what? He had 2 home runs and a double? Or was it a home run?
He had a home run and a double. And
he had something, man. I think he had 2 home runs and a double.
The only thing with Tulo is he gets injured. That's the only problem. But Colorado went from face of the franchise to he's gone to the curb. So I really see them rebuilding going forward.
It's just the same thing. They're going to rebuild. They haven't had like a great star other than Tulo since Todd Helton and Larry Walker days. And all them.
Colorado. I love that team.
But here's the thing, though, man. You've been to the World Series one time, and they was a expansion team in 93 or 95?
Yeah, they lost to Boston a few years ago. John Lester was really tearing it up that year and took Boston to the World Series. So that was my main acquisitions that I saw.
I'm about to say Matt Latos. He went. I forgot where he went.
He went from the Marlins to the Dodgers. Dodgers struck out. To me, they're the losers.
But they still
didn't get Gallardo.
They
didn't get Price.
They got
Kershaw. They already got 2 aces.
They got a
but
team
their goal
there. But that's not my main thing.
The third one.
Latos wasn't my main guy. Whatever. It's Cueto.
Cueto
going to the Royals could be the game changer.
Rangers, where were you at? Get this boy. Well, we got Hamels.
Hamels is a smart move.
I love Cueto.
That right there shows you John Daniels really ain't thinking about this year so much. He's thinking about next year.
Yeah.
But we'll see.
Contract is huge. I mean, even David Price. he's going to get paid.
I think Cueto going to the Royals is a very good deal for them.
They also got Ben Zobrist, who's a good utility fielder, can play a lot of spots, and he's a good hitter.
How about the Padres just striking out at all things? What they've done, man, like just it's crazy.
I wish the Rangers were up on Justin Upton.
They got both Uptons, and it seems like when you see them on paper, both Uptons, Kemp, and you got James Shields coming in, and they also got Kimbrel. Kimbrel didn't go nowhere, did he?
Nope.
They're relievers, so they're planning on keeping their team and maybe unloading on the offseason and picking up some more players.
I really think that
working on the pieces that didn't fit for them, but.
I really think A.J. Preller, who used to work with the Rangers, he went over there. He did all these big moves, getting Shields, like you said, Kemp, and some of these other guys. And last I saw, they were in last place. So it really hasn't helped them. And then they weren't.
They did come beat us 2 games out of 3, so it's not saying too much about us. But
we're 500 team this year, so and they're kind of a 500 team, so it's kind of a match right there. But
they're a little bit below.
I really think their expectations were higher, and now you didn't get rid of these guys at trade deadline, and your farm system sucks. So I agree, they did strike out.
Exactly.
So with the acquisitions that we spoke about, even including the Rangers. Oh, you got one more.
I got one more. The Mets. Cespedes.
Oh man, that's another guy, Ranger killer.
He should have never left the Athletics that year, man. John Lester, it made sense on paper, but he's probably done better with Cespedes.
Man, I'm telling you. You know, when he was with Oakland, every time we played him, they kept putting up the stat that with him in the lineup, their winning percentage was over 60%.
60.
And then with him out of the lineup, it was like 40%.
Well, he was
he was huge. I'm really surprised that the Red Sox. Look at the Red Sox. I mean, they got Big Papi, they got Cespedes, and they got Buchholz and all these other guys, and they're sitting in last place.
He was the main guy. Then I'm telling you, man.
That's too much talent to be in last place.
If you think about it, like he should have never even left the AAC. He should have really never left the Red Sox, but. Well, he went to the Tigers, and the Tigers, they hit big. They try to get Kinsler. They get rid of Fielder, who Fielder is just absolutely, to me, he's definitely the comeback player of the year. Definitely comeback player of the year.
Maybe MVP.
Maybe. And
we need a big run.
He got to get some hits, but he needs to pop his home runs up a little bit because it's sexy when you got home runs. You know what I'm saying?
It's sexy on the stats, but I'll take a 340 hitter all day long.
I'll take a 340 hitter over 30. I'll take a 340. 25, 30 home run hitter every day.
It would look even better if Beltre and Hamilton and some of these other guys would step up and give him some help.
Beltre's been picking up ever since he got hurt. He's come back. He's little by little been picking it up.
He's still not 100%.
He's not, but he's still been picking it up a little bit by little bit.
So with the acquisitions that we spoke about, should we go through the division winners, or do you want to just see who we think is going to the World Series?
We might as well. With the division winners, there's no real favorite runaway. Now, say the Blue Jays are going to step up and try to challenge the Yankees for the wild card. They're going to win a wild card with David Price and Tulo.
Let's talk about the AL East. Right now, the Yankees
21-5.
Oh God! First time in history that a team up 5-0 gave up 21 straight runs to lose the game by 16 runs.
But another stat that don't.
At least we pulled out the last 2 games to tie the series.
Right.
So in the AL East, who you got winning that division?
I want to say the Yankees, man, but I see the Blue Jays coming.
Blue Jays should definitely take it. I think they're a couple games out of the division right now.
I want to say, now they got Tulo, and if Tulo stays healthy and David Price pitches well for them, I'm going to say the Blue Jays could give them a run for their money, man. But right now, I'm going to say the Yankees just because they're in first, but it all depends on how they pitch. We'll see.
But
both teams are going to be in the playoffs.
I got the Blue Jays as well. The Blue Jays, they got the talent to do it. Their pitching's a little suspect, but the AL East is a tight race. I think Baltimore's the same way. They got a lot of hitting, no pitching. And the Yankees, Sabathia's really stunk this year. So I think we agree there that the Blue Jays. How about
Well, I kind of was thinking the Yankees.
Oh, the Yankees. Okay.
But it's a toss-up to me, man. And it all depends on, how many games back are they right now? Because, the East is not – when nobody paid attention to the Blue Jays before you get Tulowitzki and you get David Price. Now they're a big accusation. So what I'm going to have to tell you right now is – I'm still going to take the Yankees.
The Yankees have the lead right now, so that's probably a good guess. How about the AL Central? Is that even
the AL Central, it's not.
Casey with Cueto.
Coming over should bump them way up.
I think that's a runaway.
Yeah.
How about our AL West? Are Rangers going to come back? We're sitting about 8 games out right now.
I'd love to say yes, but I see us shooting for the wild card right now. And with Hamels, we might have a chance to win the wild card and see where our hitting is at the end of the year. And that's where we need to adjust at is our hitting. But right now, I want to say the Astros, man. Even though they're in first place, but the Angels seem to want. They want a big and they want a battle. But I just think the Astros have better pitching and they got more young star players.
I've been saying the Angels, but the
Angels got better star players, but the Astros got more.
Astros just got Scott Kazmir. They also got Carlos Gomez added to their team, and they took 2 out of 3 against the Angels. So to me, that was we're here and we're not going anywhere. I agree with that one as well. I think the Angels will make it close at the end of the day.
Pretty much what we're going to say in the American League is everybody that's leading their division right now is going to lead. Now let's pick 2
we're front runners. We're front runners right now.
Let's pick 2 wild card people, man. So who would you like? Who would you like as a wild card?
I think the Angels for sure, and I believe that the other one's up for grabs. I have to say Toronto with the acquisitions that they made.
I'm going to have to go with Toronto. And then really, man, I want to say the Angels. I don't want. Actually,
we hate the Angels.
I don't want to say the Angels.
That's our rival right there.
I'm just thinking it all.
The Yankees are our rival too.
It's just Cole Hamels thing pins out better because if you think about it, man,
it's all about hitting. We need that right-handed hitter.
But you got that every 5, and we're only 2 games back now without Hamels.
I'm still mad at John Daniels about Nelly Cruz 2 years ago.
I'm gonna throw out a toss-up, bro, and I'm gonna give you Toronto and Minnesota.
Minnesota's a surprise this year.
That's my toss-up. I'm going to give you Minnesota because I hate the Angels so bad, and I think the Rangers will pass them, but I don't know if we'll have a better record than Minnesota. I'm going to give you Minnesota.
All right. We'll have to. Who do you think's going to make it to the World Series before we move on to the NL?
To the American League?
Yeah.
I believe if the Blue Jays hit that wild card,
wildcard teams
they're
have
not going to
success.
make it. You know why? Because what was the last team that went back-to-back to the World Series? Not a loss, but who were they? And who do they remind you of? The Kansas City Royals. I believe they're going to go back to the World Series this year.
Yep.
With the addition of Plato, they're going to
They got a good chance, man. They got speed, they got base running, they got a little bit of power, but to get that number one ace was huge. So you mentioned Cespedes went to the Mets. You think they're going to come up in the NL East as they are only 3 games back?
No, I do not. And this is why, because Washington's pitching staff is just too good, and they got who do they have? Possibly to me, they have the best.
Jordan Zimmerman.
They have the National League MVP.
Bryce Harper. Oh man, he's he's a shoe-in for MVP.
He's gonna win.
Might as well hand him the $400 million contract right now.
$400 million. That's a little pushing it. With all he's not the $400 million contract. He's not going to be a Washington.
22, 23 right now.
He's not going to be a Washington.
He's a rich man. He's a rich man.
I have Washington winning the East. And which push it down, man, is who used to play for Washington. Who do you think is going to win the Central?
I think the Cardinals have really taken off in that one. Pittsburgh, man, I keep rooting for Pittsburgh to catch up with McCutchen, but it looks like they're going to be tied to the wild card unless
their pitching is not as great as it was, and some of their wins have been some walk-off runs. They had McCutchen hit a walk-off home run, and the next night was a walk-off single. And you can't rely on that. You cannot rely on walk-offs.
I think the biggest thing in that division is
clutch, but you can't rely on it.
Holiday just got injured, and he's going to be out for a while, and they had to pick up Brandon Moss. So that's a big bet to be missing in your lineup. I'm rethinking Pittsburgh. I'm taking Pittsburgh.
Hayward's been kind of stepping
up. Hayward's a 280 hitter.
He's been stepping up, and he's been showing a little bit of that poise because you got to remember he's still 22, 23 years old? He's still young. I'm going to keep it. And, it's either Cardinals, Giants in the World Series, or Red Sox. You throw out one of them, so I'm picking the Red Sox in Central. I'm going all classic.
So right now we have in the East, I think we both agree on Washington. I'm going to take Pittsburgh. I'm going to play the opposite.
Central?
Out of the Central.
You're going to take, all right, man, all right.
I'm rooting for McCutchen.
All right.
Plus the Cardinals whooped our ass in 11, and it still stings.
Let's move over and go down a little west, man. Let's go hit the Bay Area up. Who do you got? Because it's between the Dodgers and San Francisco. Let's get around that.
I feel like we're going back
Colorado.
to the debate that we had earlier. Giants are another team that hurt my Rangers.
Is it Kershaw or is it Bumgardner?
Well, this is not about our debate. This is about which team do you win.
Yes, which one?
I think the Dodgers struck out at the trade deadline. Kershaw actually missed his last start with a hip injury. But I'm taking the Giants.
What do the Giants do?
Giants just play ball, man.
Should Buster Posey be part of that MVP talk?
They lose Sandoval. They lose. First part of the year, Pence was out. They just win. They just find a way to win. I'm taking the Giants.
The Giants are half a game out right now, which is
nothing.
It's nothing, but
whichever team doesn't win, the other team's going to get the wild card.
Right, I'm going Dodgers, and then I'm going to give you my roundup. I'm going to have Washington win the East, St. Louis win the Central. I'm going to have the Dodgers win the West. But San Francisco's going to have that first wild card spot. And after that, I think Pittsburgh's going to have the second.
So I got Washington, I got Pittsburgh, I got the Giants, and who am I missing? Am I missing anybody?
St. Louis.
I got Pittsburgh. Got the Giants, got Washington. Who's your 2 wild cards?
I just told you San Francisco and Pittsburgh are my 2 wild cards.
I'll agree with that. San Francisco, and then I'll take the Cardinals since I got Pittsburgh. So
who do you have winning the West?
As far as
I try to put you on the spot.
I got the Giants winning the West.
So they can't win this wild card.
I got the Dodgers if they make the wild card.
All right.
Did I misspeak? I'm sorry, fans, but
that's my bro. So I got.
At the end of the day, World Series, I got Kansas City. I was gonna have the Dodgers, but they struck out, so I'll take San Francisco because they're winners.
It's not.
I like Kershaw.
It's not an even year.
It's not an even year. They only win on
until this year. So what I'm going to tell you right now, man, you're better off choosing the Cardinals this year than the Giants. But what I'm going to say is, it's Kershaw's year. Kershaw's going to come back, and Kershaw's going to win it. It's Dodgers, Royals. I'm picking Dodgers over the Royals.
All right, so we got about 10 minutes left in this broadcast. Once again, this is the Dunn and Dunn Sports Talk Show with my boy Trey Dunn. I'm Tommy Dunn, and this is episode number 2. And we just love to debate and talk about sports. So, what other topic would you like to bring up in the last 10 minutes of the show?
Me personally, man, I can talk about a lot of things, dude. I could talk about, I could still talk about Dez Bryant's contract. I still could talk about, who's the greatest Cowboy quarterback of all time. I could talk about that.
Let's see.
Not avoid saying
what's a good debate? Man, I was just wondering the other day, top 5 NBA players right now.
Top 5 wide receivers also.
Top 5 wide receivers also.
Okay, top 5 NBA players.
Top 5 NBA players. LeBron's number 1. That's easy. That's easy.
I agree.
That's easy.
I agree. LeBron number 1.
But number 2 right now, let's see. Number 2, I don't know who you got number 2.
I have LeBron number 1.
Is it close?
Is it number 2? It's not close at all. But you gotta have.
I mean, LeBron took that team.
I think Stephen Curry's number 2 now.
You think so?
And I think James Harden.
I
don't know if I'm put it out there.
Okay. The last 2 minutes have just been decided.
All right.
Last year, fans, the big debate: who is MVP of the NBA? I will give you the floor
most valuable player to their team.
Okay,
first of all,
let's describe what most valuable means. What does most valuable mean to you?
If you don't have that player on your team, you lose. That's what the most valuable player.
Most valuable to me is you take that guy off the team, they lose. They are better with him on the court. If you take him out,
you can do that.
All right, I'll have my description a little bit here in a minute, but I'm gonna give my co-host Trey Dunn the opportunity to speak. Go ahead.
I'm gonna tell you right now.
Who did you have?
James is the most valuable player. Now
he missed games.
He's the best player. Yeah, and
you can't win MVP on the bench. Go ahead.
Time out. This is why he's the most valuable player. How many games did he miss? Less than 2 weeks. So it qualifies him as most valuable player.
At least 2 weeks.
What did his team do when he lost that game? When he missed that time, what did his team do?
Win?
They did not win at all. They went 4-20 or something. Not 4-20, but 4-12.
But would you say he's more valuable than Steph Curry? Or James Harden?
I say he's way more valuable than James Harden.
Take Steph Curry off their team.
Steph Curry would be my debater right there, but LeBron James, would they win? I think
take James Harden off the team. Do they still win?
LeBron, you take James Harden, yeah, they still win.
James Harden. Dwight Howard was out most of the season.
Here's one for you. LeBron James and James Harden matched up. Who dominated that match?
I don't care who matched up.
LeBron James was over James Harden, and James Harden was trying to kick him in the nuts.
Hey, I watched.
He was trying to kick him in the nuts. LeBron James took a ball out of the air from when James Harden spent, and he said, "The king is here."
Okay,
that's what he did. He went into Houston and said, "The king is here."
So my boy had LeBron James last year,
and Steph Curry, man.
Steph Curry won.
It.
I had James Harden. And this is my reason for having James Harden.
Number 3.
Dwight Howard missed games. Dwight Howard is not a go-to player.
Dwight Howard's good on the back of a stat card.
Houston did not have any other go-to players. James Harden, even though he lacks a little bit on the defense,
they had an all-around team.
Scored most of their points. He's a go-to person. Clutch time, 4th quarter. He went to them. He was MVP. The players chose James Harden as MVP.
Let me tell you this. This is why the players, they're choosing the best player that's come out. James Harden's liked in the NBA and all that.
Steph Curry is liked. LeBron is liked.
This is why the players don't watch every single NBA game.
They play against them.
They play against them. They play against them.
Even
to me,
as far as the players, I respect them because they play against each other. Their vote, I respect their vote.
I respect
my vote.
It's not.
My 2 eyes told me James Harden. No. Clutch. 4 quarters.
Steph Curry. Clutch.
Ball in his hand.
Steph Curry. Ball in his hand. Clutch.
Yeah, but you take Steph Curry off. To me, he
You just sat there and had this argument when I said about LeBron.
I would put Steph above LeBron last year.
Would you put Steph above James Harden, James Harden above Steph? Who won
James Harden last year?
Who won that series?
We're talking about regular season.
Who won the series, though?
The
who won the series?
Is voted in the regular season.
Who won the series?
James Harden sucked the last game. He had 13
James Harden sucked a lot of games last year. You didn't hear Steph Curry sucking. Steph Curry was lighting it up. You didn't hear no Steph Curry.
I have no problem with Steph Curry.
Steph Curry wasn't kicking LeBron in the nuts.
But once again, he's sitting here saying Steph Curry, but he voted for
LeBron. But I'm saying Steph was before
LeBron is the best player in the league, but he was not MVP.
Let's do this. Let's look up a stat, man, and we'll probably have to have this for you next show. But who won more games? Which team won more games with their best player out? You know the Cavs sucked when LeBron was out.
You would have to.
And they had you would
have to bring that stat to the next show because my 2 eyes saw James Harden tear up the NBA.
And you wear glasses, and that's
I don't wear glasses. I got LASIK.
No.
I got LASIK, fans. I got LASIK.
I
can see 20/20.
They did
so you can see between the Kershaw and Bumgardner debate, this is another debate that will never be decided. Just like he knows I whoop his ass at basketball every game. He's never beat me. He's never beat me.
This dude
I am the MVP between us.
Yeah, right. We just had a 7-game series, not just now, but a while back. Well, the last one-on-one we played, and I won 4 out of the 7 games.
He's never won 4 games in his life.
Oh, you see, he's just amnesia.
It must have been on the video game.
He gets amnesia.
So last year's MVP was Steph Curry, but I believe it was James Harden. The players believe it was James Harden, but this man believes LeBron was MVP.
I stand by what I stand
for. I can't see getting MVP when you're sitting on the bench with a hurt knee
for 2 weeks. And it shows you what your team can do without you, and then you get put back in. So he's
during those 2 weeks, James Harden,
most valuable player to his team.
What was he doing? He was doing this. He was shooting.
James Harden got hurt too. What are you talking about?
James Harden didn't get hurt last year.
He was
he sprained an ankle, but never missed any games.
I'm gonna kick LeBron in the nuts because LeBron's beasted.
Look up how many games James Harden played last year because he did not miss any games.
I don't care, man.
Look at this. I don't care.
LeBron James is the most important player to his team.
Hey, fans, did you hear that? That was my game-winning shot right there.
Steph Curry, game-winning shot. That was
Steph Curry won the MVP. I had no problem. But hey, Steph Curry also had Klay Thompson, Harrison Barnes, Andrew Bogut. James Harden had who?
How many game-winning shots did Steph Curry hit? You can't guard James Harden. You cannot guard Steph Curry.
I don't care. When it comes to crunch
time. Curry is a beast.
Okay, we got 3 minutes left.
Curry's a beast.
Crunch time. Any player in the NBA.
Beast.
Listen to my question. Settle down.
B-E.
Doesn't matter. Steph Curry won the MVP.
T.
This argument will never be solved, especially in the next 3 minutes.
No, it's not.
All right.
LeBron, Curry, Harden.
If you had to pick one player in the NBA right now to take the last-minute shot, you got Kobe, you got Dirk, you got LeBron, you got Steph, you got James. Anybody else you want to add in there? One shot.
You didn't say Harden.
I did say Harden.
No, you did.
Steph, James.
Oh, LeBron James. James
Harden. Okay. James Harden or LeBron James? Who do you got? Who do you got? Who do you got? Who do you got?
Steph Curry.
Why?
Because he's the best shooter that anybody's ever seen.
You see that shot he had against New Orleans in the corner in the playoffs?
Ridiculous.
Oh, my God.
Ridiculous.
Oh, my God.
Ridiculous.
I jumped up and I was like,
Steph Curry, like, I love Dirk. Dirk, there was a stat from 2007 to, 2014. 2007, 2014, who had the most game-winning shots. Dirk was up there, like, leading.
I want everybody to go on the internet and look up percentages, and they say Kobe, Kobe, Kobe. Look at Dirk's percentage in the fourth quarter, the last few seconds of the game.
I agree, man.
He hits the most big shots in the NBA.
We got 2.
Carmelo, LeBron, whoever you want to say. Yeah, I'm biased. I love Dirk, but look at the stats. All right, so we got a minute left.
Let's talk about, even with football, bro, it's the same type thing. You got Tony Romo, he drops back. Russell Wilson was the only guy above him.
Fourth quarter comebacks. Tony Romo, all day long. Clutch.
All day long.
All day long. All right, fans, we got 1 minute left.
I'm about to give you these stats right now, man. I know y'all want to hear it. And
most game-winning shots in the NBA.
So y'all got time to think in y'all's head, like if y'all are anything like me, who did it? Who did it? Who did it? Who did it?
I even put Dirk above anybody. I mean, seriously.
I know.
Paul Pierce hits a lot of game-winning shots. I mean, LeBron hits a lot of game-winning shots.
Well, he gave us him to the wrong game-winning shots. It has LeBron James first now.
Well,
Vince Carter, Ray Allen, Kobe Bryant, Carmen. That's not right. Ben Gordon.
Shout out to Eddie Sayanoff on that one.
This has got leading game-winning shot players playoffs. Kobe Bryant with 4 field goals made, 4 out of 8. LeBron James 4 out of 8.
LeBron,
Dirk Nowitzki
Wade,
3 out of 6. Dwayne Wade, Caron Butler, Gilbert Arenas.
10 seconds left. Want to give a shout out to all my family, friends, loved ones.
All right, man. I love my kids. I love y'all. Go Mavericks. Go Rangers.
Dunn and Dunn Sports Talk.
Go Russell Wilson.